The amount of force that you generate if something was to step in front of you when you're going at your full speed as opposed to when you're just about to get started is two completely different things. Hey peeps, I'm Rick Roberts, and this is Rick Roberts Life The Podcast, where we talk about my faith, my thoughts, my life, and today is Motivation Monday, and I want to ask you, do you have that momentum? That momentum is so important. Now, let me break it down to you like this. There was a time when my wife and I, we moved to Northern Ireland, and we had an old car, and the car decided to break down on us a couple times, and it was a stick shift to my American people, a manual to my UK peeps, and so with a stick shift, if you have it where you push the car fast enough, you can pop the clutch and it will start the car. And so that was cool. But if you didn't do that, then you have to push it. And so what we did was we would park our car on a hill, and so that way we can let it roll down, put our foot on the clutch, let it coast down, and we pop that clutch when it was in first gear, and it would just kick in to ignition. And that's what we did for a couple days, to get this car moving. And once we got that momentum to be able to pop that clutch, to be able to get to move, it was solid. It was like there was no issues with it. But Lord help you, if that car stopped in traffic, if it cut out on you, you done, basically. You done. And so what I'm saying is that in life, we want to do certain things. There's certain things we want to reach out and do, but we don't have the momentum yet. We haven't put ourselves in a position to easily get that momentum. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Rick, if you had your car fixed, you could just start and go. Yes. Now, that's a side note. So what I'm saying to you is that you need to put yourself in a solid place to get momentum easily. And once you have the momentum, you must keep it going, because the amount of force that you generate if something was to step in front of you when you're going at your full speed, as opposed to when you're just about to get started, is two completely different things. And so I'm talking to you about this now is because in a short period of time, the world is going to be looking at change and trying to do something great and take over the world pretty soon. And in order for you to do that, for you to really get yourself going for this big change that's coming, you need to start now. Start building your momentum from right now. And as you start building it from now, you're going to find that you're going to start to pick up speed, and you're going to start to get there faster, stronger, and you're going to come with such a high force that no one's going to get in your way. It reminds me of a time when I was in London. If you've ever been to London and you've been on the London Underground, there's a certain few times in the day where it's called peak time. People are trying to get to work. People are trying to get back from work. Where the train is absolutely packed. Now, I kid you not by saying that it's packed. You're literally standing close to close, rubbing shoulders, literally rubbing shoulders. And in fact, if you are a lonely person, this is a good place to go to get some human interaction, some human contact, because you just pressed up against people, because it is so tight, because people are desperate to get to where they're going. When I was getting on the train, going home from work one night, I saw this guy. He was trying to get on the train. We got on there, we all crammed on there, and the door was starting to beep, because when it starts to beep, it's about to close. And the guy was like, move, 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 and nobody would move. So this man, he backed up a few feet, and then he just took off full speed, running for the doggone entrance of the door to get inside this place. And I was already tucked in a bit, but seeing people's facial reactions, like freaking out, like, oh my goodness, trying to make a little pocket for this guy to stand in, because this guy was coming, like it or not, this guy was coming on this train. And as he was running full speed, people made space for him, and he was able to find a little spot to tuck in. As the door shut, he's wedged against the door. And I say that to hopefully let you know that there's going to be things you want to do, and you're going to feel like people are saying no to you. There's no space. There's no room. You're not ready. You have to wait for the next time. And as long as you're working hard to get momentum, you might have to back up a little bit, but you come full speed ahead and you try to take your place. Lord help those who get in your way. Get yourself moving. Get yourself ready right now. Get the quirks out of the way. Get the hiccups out of the way. Learn your craft. Get comfortable with your craft. And as you're getting comfortable doing what you're wanting to do, you will then start to pick up speed, accuracy, and momentum to be a solid force to reckon with. And I dare anyone to get in your way. Keep your head up and keep moving forward. I'm Rick Roberts, and you stay classy. Bye. Hey peeps, I want to say thanks to everyone who watches the podcast and who supports the podcast. Please do me a huge favor. Please like and share this, because you never know who needs this type of encouragement, who's going through the day and just needs a boost. Now, there is something I wanted to say before I get started on this podcast today. There are a couple people out there. You know who you are. Maybe you don't know. I'm going to share it now. You deserve a shout out. I've been looking at my Facebook feeds, and one day I was scrolling through, I was looking at my stories, and I saw that there were a couple people sharing my podcast in the stories. Now, a lot of y'all share my podcast to your group in your Facebook stuff. But not all y'all share my stuff on your Facebook stories. And some of y'all doing it on the Instagram stories too. Now, I wanted to say thank you so much. Y'all have been awesome. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Thank you. There's one who's been a ride or die. My wife Shereen. Shereenie, baby, thank you so much for sharing it to your story. And my boy Lee Bob Gamble, great boxing coach. He has been doing his thing over at Illico. If you have not been training with Lee Bob Gamble for boxing, you are missing out. I trained with him. It was fantastic. He had great temperament. He was very good with, coaching, very good with showing me how to do the things the right way. And you know what? I trained with other people before as well. I've had other coaches, and I've been able to see a difference in his style to their style. And I appreciate how he came, how he talked to me, how he showed me how to use my force and everything with the punch and everything. So what I'm saying to you is, thank you guys so much for the love. If you've not checked out my boy Lee Bob Gamble, what you doing? If you're in the, Londonderry area, I know it's lockdown, but the man is doing private lessons. Check the stories to see how you can get in touch with the guy. Check the description for his information. He's a great guy to hang out with, and he's a great guy to have coaching you. He had a huge weight loss journey. Him and I, we both used to be really big. In fact, you're thinking, Rick, you're still kind of big. Forget that. He is looking sharp. He looks good. And for all you single ladies out there, I think the man's taken. So calm down. But yes, train with the guy. He has a great heart, very humble, very passionate about what he's doing. And you're going to have a great experience learning how to box from this guy specifically. And my wife, thank you so much for always being there and supporting the podcast. And, and also to anyone else who would be interested in sponsoring a podcast, who would be interested in financially supporting the podcast, contact me, private message me, to all my other people who are sponsoring us and keeping us going. Thank you so much. It's because of you we're able to help improve our lighting, improve just our equipment, and to be able to get better production value out and reach loads of people. So thank you all for your support. I appreciate you. I'm Rick Roberts, and you stay classy. Bye.